finally, your own county, Tailteann Cup final, didn't go, again, missed goal chances, Stevie. Fuck you.
Yeah, and yes and no. The goal chances in the first half obviously would have had an impact. Started the game really well, and it started the game so well. It's when you've got a lot of lads who are probably inexperienced and a lot of lads who are very young. To get that start is perfect. The 4-1 up, but the goal was a sucker punch. Came off the post and then came off. I think it was Ronan Jones'
Rowan
knee.
Jones.
I came off Ronan Jones's knee, and you're just thinking, Jesus, what a sucker punch. But then, you can make the argument. Obviously, Keelan Doherty picked up a black card, and there was a period then where Down actually were on top of 14, and they created that little sort of goal chance. It was a fortunate enough goal chance that came about, but Liam Kerr was through 3v1, I think it was, and there was probably an opportunity to walk one into the net, which is unusual because Liam's normally very, very good in those situations. But I have to say, and in the second half. Meath, I just thought after the first 5-6 minutes of the second half, just took over. Jack Flynn had obviously replaced Jack O'Connor, in the starting team. Kicked some brilliant points. Then Jack O'Connor came on with a bit between his teeth and kicked a couple of brilliant points too. But it wasn't Meath's full forward line that Down were obviously worried before the game. Thought now Matthew Costello, I thought he had a really, really huge influence in the game.
Great game. Great game.
He roamed around and was playing loose and was picking up a lot of loose ball. But for me, Conor Gray was absolutely immense. Absolutely immense. Now there was a bit of talk that they had this guy, very, very highly rated in Meath. But he's only played a handful of games. But I thought in the middle of the field, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. And look, it's unfortunate for Down because obviously to win the Tailteann Cup gives you a number of things. It sends you off into the winter on a massive high. It's a young group. It's a new management team. They'll be playing in Sam Maguire next year, and the pressure's then off, and you can put all your focus then on getting promoted to Division 3. But now then, there's just a bit of a dampness going into the winter, that didn't win it, didn't get promoted and stuff like that. But obviously the first year, there's a wee bit of a buzz back. There's a number of young lads playing in that team. Conor will obviously go with the large majority of those younger boys that have been loyal to him at under 20 level, and he'll probably look to rebuild again next year. You'll probably see a large number of new faces as well coming out of the club championship too. So, but it can be a long old winter, and you know yourself, like when the season finishes like that, and such a disappointing performance after such a great performance. But look, it's the old thing, it's the old adage too, like the team that's flying in the semi-final and the team that stumbles over the line in the other semi-final, and they come into the final, and it might have been maybe Down might have just got caught up maybe a wee bit in the occasion and stuff too. There's a lot of that too, Enda. But look, there's no doubting it either, though. It was a very, very poor quality of football too, and a lot of mistakes, and it probably is where both teams are at the minute. Both teams probably are in that bottom sort of 15, 16, at the minute. But hopefully now next year, Down can push on a little bit more now.
I suppose you can't underestimate kind of moments for momentum changes, like we said, as you said there, the Ronan Jones goal there.
Yeah.
It was you wouldn't ever see that. The Liam Kerr.
It just felt as if it gave me like a little bit of belief or something. Here we are, like we're actually, and then from the kick out, then Meath intercepted the kick out, and Jordan Morris kicked the worthy. Spinny, it's a real spinny effort with the outside of the foot, and all of a sudden, from being 1 up, you're a point down, So
you're 16 minutes into the game there, Stevie, and it was a 4 or 5-1 up, and they've scored a point, again, momentum, like Liam Kerr, if he gets that, if it's a 3-on-1, obviously he nearly had too much time, just that kind of composure, if you just palms across, easy for us to talk. Obviously, look, I've been in that situation myself. I've fucked it up enough times, but it's just again momentum changers. It's just the goals, fucking massive kind of moments in games where they give that momentum and the confidence going in at half time, and then as you said there, they kind of milled her, they kind of took over, and they I thought, look at Matthew Costello, as you mentioned there, Jack O'Connor, man, honest to God. scored like one of the, I think the first score he got, an absolute,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it was probably the best score of the fucking day. Like, he was absolutely outrageous.
No, I just think Down maybe just could have asked me a few more questions. I think, look, Meath obviously got up very defensively. It was probably no surprise that they did that after Down's performance in the semi-final, but it's just something that probably you talked about Mayo early in the year as well. I think I said it last week as well. I'm just a wee bit worried that, Down are very one-dimensional in the way.
Yeah,
It's
you did.
bodies.
You said that all year, Stevie. You said that all year.
Yeah, and look at goals. It's sort of, and it's grand, right? It's good and it's great when it works, but you also need to go into a sort of a little bit of a structured attack whenever you're faced. Because next year, like unquestionably, when you play the likes of Clare in the National League, Limerick, Westmeath, they're going to say, well, sit in deep and they'll not score goals and we'll beat them, and so they're going to have to, obviously, they have a lot of work to do now over the winter on working on that sort of, slow structured attack, creating opportunities, aka like Derry, that's the big next. That's the next layer of progress for Down, is obviously building on that, but certainly from a togetherness point of view, there seemed to be a better spirit among the group this year, and obviously they can carry that in now to the pre-season, which probably won't be too long coming round. Most counties will probably be back around about the end of October, start of November,
Yeah, well, look at the pluses out of the Tailteann Cup. We said at the start of the year, obviously the experience to get in Croker, as you said there, not many players from Down would have played in Croker. They've got 2 games in there now, and I think Conor is introduced to the same commentary 13, 14.
They've used close to 40 players. Which is a big turnover of players. A lot of young lads there played football this year as well, so probably still doesn't know as strong as 15, and that probably takes time, and again they'll get a look at everybody now in the club championship coming up, and there'll be a bit of there'll be a bit of freshness then, I'm sure, introduced now in the winter,
And Meath, obviously, I think they said they've actually introduced even more. Like Colin O'Rourke said after the game, or said during the week, maybe if they were in Sam Maguire, he wouldn't have been able to do that, to introduce so many young fellas. Like, so, look, it does. Obviously, look, it's a great kind of stepping stone, as we mentioned before. So, look, it'd be interesting where the 2 teams land next year, Stevie, in terms of how they progress from this, the experience they've got from this, the young players introduced. So, look. We'll wait and see.